right, 5'9" gamers, welcome back to the Dragon Ball Legends podcast. Today we have episode 42, Appule Force. We hope you feel the hype as well. And before we start, as always, Twitch Prime is not a crime. Make sure to check out all our social media platforms, ! Linktree in the chat, and you'll find our TikTok, our YouTube, our Twitter, obviously our LinkedIn for some reason. Someone said that always. And today we are joined by a returning guest, DFree. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. Hope you guys are as well. Thanks for having me again.
Hey, all right. We have Goresh back here, obviously, because it's a Frieza themed podcast as well.
Yeah, I had to definitely jump in for the LF Frieza release.
Exactly. We are also joined by our Gaki main, now cheating on them with Super Saiyans. Swift, how are you doing?
Yo, what's up, everybody?
And we got Detective ZVG, who thinks that Toshi is being held at gunpoint.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm going to uncover the truth, bro. Don't worry. I got y'all.
The truth can help you with that, right? Yeah, so of course today we're going to talk about the new banner, the new units, Appule and the gang incoming, and the V-Jump leaks that we got a couple of days ago about the potential Majub and Ginyu Zenkai. And we are going to start with the banner. DFree, do you think this is a worthy banner to summon on, and who should or shouldn't summon on it?
I mean, really no. I mean, the roster is... I mean, there's a good roster of characters if you just look at the banner as a whole, but really, if you're looking at banners to summon on, you're looking at more than one new character. I mean, there's an EX, one new sparking character, right? So really just no. But I mean, if you want to, if you're like, I think the thing about this banner is, if you're an LOE fan or if you're somebody that's been waiting for LOE stuff, obviously you would want to consider it. But I think one thing to see about this banner is how it could potentially age going forward. The roster is not going to change, but the implication is that maybe we could see more LOE stuff or powerful opponent stuff, and maybe this Frieza winds up being one of the characters you probably would have wanted to have. Like, you can kind of equate this to Yellow SS4 Goku's banner to a degree. Not really talking about how good Frieza is versus that Goku, but Goku was a bit of a stepping stone pre-anniversary to a bunch of GT stuff coming out, right? So who knows what happens from here? And maybe Frieza winds up again being a character that has more value going forward. I think he's an incredible character. I just don't love the banner overall.
Yeah, I was gonna say for this banner, like you have to consider like what they're going for, because I think they're really pushing powerful opponent. And powerful opponent is a tag that's a really safe investment, I think, for a lot of players, because it's always going to get updated. Think about how many powerful opponents there are. I think at this point, like, we pretty much know that powerful opponent is either characters that were the main antagonist in their saga, or characters that like Goku fought, and that's pretty much what powerful opponent is, right? So if you consider like that requirement to be in the tag, there's like infinite characters that will be in powerful opponent moving forward, and you're pretty much going to get like for every like celebration that comes out, at least one character that's in that tag. So you can choose if you're choosing to like main or make powerful opponent win your main teams, you can choose which characters you want to go for. Even like, you don't even have to summon for every single powerful opponent character you like in that tag, even if you're maining that team, because there's so many options. So if you're like a powerful opponent in main, or you just like the tag, like, this is a decent banner. But I overall, like, looking at the actual banner, I don't think it's that good. Main reason being because the fact that they just excluded any other sparkings other than Frieza himself, which is, I think, a very stupid choice. Not having a new sparking other than Frieza makes it so that him being the only new sparking at a 0.5% rate is not a good choice. Like,
man,
I don't know.
Yeah, they pretty much went back to Super Saiyan 4,
I wonder if the thought process was to also test out how the new pity system or whatever is going to handle or be handled, right, by the players. So that might have been part of it. I do agree with what you were saying. Like, there are specific teams like God Key or powerful opponent that are always going to have value going forward, just because the sheer number of characters they're going to get going forward. And Frieza, like I said, could be a good stepping stone for what's to come for that grouping overall. And like you said, they're always going to get new characters, so there is value in that. It's just the banner itself. Like, if Frieza was paired with maybe 2 or 3 more good 1% sparkings, then we have something to talk about, really.
Yeah,
but
I was
for me personally, even though I like some of the roster, like, I love King Piccolo on there. I love a number of the characters, including some of the LFs, like Baby and not Baby, excuse me, but Boo and Broly. I don't think it's worth going that deep in personally, unless you're Goresh.
Yeah. What's your LOE like fiend, I guess?
Well, I do love the Frieza Saga theme as well. Like they've been really pushing that saga tag for a while too, with the ultras and stuff like that. So, I mean, there's value there for sure.
Yep.
I was gonna say, Goresh, if anybody's a powerful opponent main, I'm pretty sure they don't have any CC to summon on this banner right here, because powerful opponent has been getting a lot of LFs, especially LFs, before this Frieza.
Yeah.
But yeah, this banner, I feel like if, you know, Rival Goku and Hit were like 1%, then it would be like, okay, maybe it's worth it a bit, right? But because they're 0.16%, I feel like this banner is literally just not worth it at all if you're free to play, other than the fact that if you're an LOE main, because I feel like they're going to start coming out with like some LOE support, especially since, you know, the leaked or whatever, the V-Jump is about, you know, Zenkai Ginyu. So the Frieza Saga, Frieza Force or whatever is probably going to get some more updates in the coming future. But other than that, this banner is a major skip, honestly.
That's why I was saying we need to kind of see how the banner
perspective.
ages, right? Because, like, I mean, the banner in and of itself won't change, but will the value have gone up?
You
Who
did
knows?
make a good point about, you know, how LOE, this could be a sign that might be getting some love for LOE. I mean, me and Goresh were just talking about before the podcast, you know, there's just a possibility they Zenkai that purple LF Frieza. I mean, you know, there's possibilities of LOE getting some love. So I see what you're saying, like, the value could possibly continue to increase in the future. I was extremely disappointed that, I was happy that they brought Clapgoo back, but they gave him such a low rate to the point to where, like, you're more likely to pull an LF unit than you are to pull a copy of Revival Goku. So that was kind of a disappointment, but for me personally, it was a skip. But I see what you're saying about, you know, Lineage of Evil possibly getting some love in the future. So,
Well, on that
Yeah,
topic,
look-
the thing is that with Lineage of Evil potentially getting some love going forward, also need to remember that they're going to be in a position similar to where GT was, where they kind of were needing stuff. I mean, they got stuff, like they got the green cooler, they got some Zenkais, they got some stuff, but they kind of need just a new cast almost entirely. So you're going to look back at it and say, oh, hey, this Frieza would be really nice to have on my LOE team, but he probably won't have returned on a banner, you know, anytime soon. So that's the thing.
right.
Yeah. And I think it's pretty safe to say at this point that they've completely discarded the idea of having featured sparkings on here. Right?
Yeah.
Because like every single sparking has the same rate and they're like 0.1, which is really bad because you can't pinpoint.
That's bad.
You can't pinpoint a sparking that you want to pull out of the pool sparkings, right? Which is dumb because generally that's how you decide which banner to summon on, right?
Yeah.
Instead of having like 50 sparkings on the banner with all at the same rate, usually, like, you know, they used to do, you know, they'd pick like 5 or 6 sparkings that had a higher rate, which would then be quote unquote featured. And then based off of which ones are featured that has the higher rate, you decide whether or not you want to summon. But now they've stopped doing that, and it makes it way more difficult to decide if it's worth summoning or not, because it's more so just like a random grab bag, right? You have no idea what you're gonna pull.
Yeah.
Is it only on step ups that that this has occurred? I'm not 100% sure. Okay,
Well,
so yeah.
All-Star banners, remember All-Star banners have guaranteed sparkings per
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
and it's much easier to pinpoint a unit that you want to pull from an all-star banner as opposed to a step up, because step up is like a shotgun blast, like you're just blasting and hoping you pull what you want, right?
This is why
All-Star
I feel
banners
like
might be the best banners in the game at this point.
yeah, I
for
was
the
just
record.
gonna say that. I think the
just might
pickups
be.
are honestly the best. The pickups, because the pickups normally have like LS like at a high percent chance, but also having, you know, the teams, like the whole team there, or some units for that team in that banner. We saw it with the Rose, Broly, and Kibu banner. It had literally every single powerful opponent 1% there with the LFs there, so it was like a perfect banner if you wanted to get into the powerful opponent team. So I feel like pickups and all-stars are better than step-ups at this point. And I feel like that's not a hot take whatsoever.
Do you feel this way even?
Imagine saying that like freaking like 8 months ago.
Yeah.
Has Pity changed anything about that at all, in your perspective?
No. Nah, because I'm free to play, so the pity doesn't really, you know, cater to me as much as, you know, Goresh. So Goresh would probably give you a better opinion on that.
I mean, the pity for me really did obviously help me a lot. Like it saved me a lot of crystals.
Yeah.
I think it can. I mean, again, it will help you if you're free to play, if you're able to save up for a long period of time and have the willpower to not summon. Because if you come into a
Yeah.
banner with like a bunch of crystals, you'll obviously get value out of the pity system.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say about the pity system that I really don't like, and I think it was sort of misleading how they introduced it, was when they talked about you're able to exchange 1 coin for a Legends ticket. Apparently, you actually have to wait until the banner goes away for that to happen. Like, you can't just
I
straight
was
up
wondering why that
exchange
wasn't available.
Dude,
Yeah.
how misleading was that? They put it
That
in
doesn't make any
the
sense.
they put it in like the introduction news section.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna go check out the new summon coin shop to just see how everything stacks up. And there's no Legends tickets. And so apparently, according to what was said, I don't even think it was in game. I think it was on Twitter. It was like, oh, once the banner goes away, you'll be able to exchange your coins for summon tickets. It's like, why? What's the point? Why wouldn't you just let me exchange?
Yeah, that's
kind of
dumb.
weird.
It is dumb.
I guess.
Because
I guess.
is there going to be a limit on it?
Well,
No, I don't think
don't
so.
know.
Like on the
I
amount
guess
of
the thought
Legends tickets
process
you
with
can
that
exchange?
was-
I don't know.
Since you can't hold the coins, which is a whole different stupid thing. That's probably the thought process. Since you can't hold them, at least you get some value out of them afterwards.
Yeah, I think
don't
it's
know.
more so like your leftover coins that weren't used just automatically get converted to Legends tickets. I think is what happens.
Yeah, that might be what's happening there. So they don't
That
just
made more
like
sense.
infinitely sit there unusable forever.
Yeah. Yeah, and then
So-
in terms of how the banner will age, I mean, this Frieza will come back at one point, so you still have a little bit of hindsight, but the question is, will he come back as fast as Ella Frieza came back, or will he come back faster, right? So we also don't know if it's going to be like a year from now, or if he's going to come back in like 3 months' time.
I mean,
think-
well, I love Super Saiyan 4 Goku hasn't come back yet, and he came out in like April.
Like
Yeah.
3.5 months ago, something like that. Now.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Some,
think
some of the
it's-
characters they do bring back quicker, but typically I don't know what the average is, but with LFs it seems like it takes a while, maybe 4 months or so.
I mean, Kid Buu and Rose came back reasonably fast. Was it like 3-4 months?
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think with LFs it's probably like 3-4 months.
So, yeah, maybe they
I
don't.
think one
Goku
thing
should
to-
be like right around the corner for the next banner we get. That's another LF next week. So
Oh, joy.
Next week. Next week. But anyways, I think if you're going into this banner thinking that Eloise is gonna get some buffs, do not go for that. Because I remember when Terminal Power 17 and 18 came up, people were like, oh, they're gonna get buffs for the anniversary, and no buffs whatsoever. And people summoned thinking that TOP would be a main theme for the anniversary, and it wasn't. So don't just jump into this banner thinking that Eloise is gonna get buffs. I mean, it's all hindsight at the end of the day. We don't know what they're gonna bring out, or if they're
the
gonna
thing
bring
is
out
with
the
Frieza,
support
though,
or whatever.
the Freeze is also 3 teams, so that's another thing.
Yeah.
So he could lead either way. So I get your point, but like he's a little more valuable from a team building perspective than those androids were.
Fair enough.
And
Especially
they were actually the tail end of numerous buffs from being the culmination of from UI releasing. That tag steadily got new characters coming out. Actually, from the dogs, really. They steadily got new characters like once every couple months.
yeah,
So they were the tail end of that.
and especially Frieza being part of Powerful Opponent, a tag that is so broad that you can kind of almost always throw together a team, just based on the fact
Like
that
any villain that pretty much comes out ever is going to be a powerful opponent.
Yeah, exactly.
Like really, like pretty much.
I love how the
So,
tag's
like-
so broad, but yet the best team for the tag is literally all the LFs slapped on together.
Yeah.
I actually have to try that.
At a high star level, anyway.
Yeah,
Isn't that
Yeah,
pretty much
I
everything, though?
I think it's evident for PO because PO is like one of the most expensive tags in the game to like actually run because you need like the LFs are like 6 stars for all of them, and it's like
Yeah.
that's kind of difficult for like even low spender will find it pretty difficult to get all the LFs at the required star count to like make the team actually viable. I mean, you can run the 1%, but obviously it's not gonna be super optimal like if you run all the LFs together.
I feel like Goresh, you should probably make a team of all your 14-star LFs and then just name yourself Zenkai Bad or something like this.
Like Bojack is good. Like there's some good like 1%.
Yeah,
spark
so
that are
There's
good.
Bojack, there's King
Yeah, I did say
Piccolo,
that.
there's Green Rose, there's some options.
Yeah, there are options, of course.
Red Cell.
But I just find it funny how it's just
Purple DKP is amazing.
amazing.
Yeah, there's some
bro.
options there.
Truth just recently learned that, huh? Based on our shorts on YouTube.
Yeah, Yellow Broly, what a menace, dude.
Dude.
Oh my gosh, missing the game, bro. Oh my gosh, one shot any purple ever, bro. Trust me.
All right, I think before we get too far off track here, we can move this over to the next topic, which is obviously the main unit of the banner. And who better to tell us about the strengths and weaknesses than the LOE main himself, Goresh? What do you think about Frieza?
Okay, so this guy definitely feels real. Like I don't think they like pulled their punches with this guy at all. The fact that he does extra damage to Sun Family is something that we really needed. I think they realized that the Gohan they just released was not very good for the meta. So they come out with a yellow character that does extra damage versus Sun Family. So like this Frieza is like pretty obviously designed to just completely eliminate that Gohan from the fight. The problem with that is that you're always going to be running into the Red Gohan along with him. So again, Red Gohan presents himself as the biggest issue for a year straight. Great. But yeah, this Frieza is good. To me, when I'm using him like in actual like practice, he feels like an upgraded, better all-around version of LF Rose. They feel very similar. They both destroy Dragon Balls. They both they both destroy Dragon. They both have the similar damage output to me. They both have kind of card draw speed. Frieza has straight up card draw speed, while Purple Rose gets cards when your enemy switches. They feel like they're designed in a very similar way. Their blue cards are both AoEs. So I don't know. He feels good to me. The problem I have with this Frieza specifically is that he is not a unit that is designed to be used on LoE. He's designed to be used on powerful opponent. So I'm trying to really think about, is he really going to propel LoE forward? Because you can use him on LoE, and it's going to be his best team. Because whenever an LoE unit comes out, their best team is LoE, just because of the fact that you have both Cooler, the Zenkai Cooler, and the LF Purple Frieza support buffs. So they're going to look their best on LoE. But the team is not the best for him. Like, his best team is powerful opponent, because that team is just better than LoE is. Problem with LoE is there's no tank. Like there's no unit that's able to just sit there and soak the damage up. I'm actually pretty. I want to try out this yellow blue setup with both full power Friezas and then blue Cooler. I mean, it's not going to be the best because the old yellow full power Frieza is not exactly the greatest unit ever. But the team so badly needs a defensive unit that it's like you're forced to run the old full power Frieza because of how squishy the team is. Like, you get caught with one combo from a hybrid team, this Frieza is meant to counter the LF Revival Gohan. Like, you get caught with one combo and somebody's dead because Red Gohan's going to come in and just like one-shot you, no matter who you go into. So at the end of the day, he's good. He definitely fits on LoE really well. Blast Armor is going to work really well with him as well. Start combos with him, but I don't think he's going to be quote unquote the savior of LoE. Powerful opponents where he's meant to be ran on, and I feel like with the roster of powerful opponent units right now, you can do like a full Blast Armor team on powerful opponent. I don't know. I feel like that's the path they're going down, and I wouldn't be surprised honestly if we saw sort of like a shift in what they want to do, and they might relegate LoE to being a side tag like they've done with like Heraclan and those kinds of like Shadow Dragon and stuff like that, because realistically, at the end of the day, it's so much easier to buff powerful opponent than a tag like LoE that has two characters on it. So that may be the path they're going down. But again, to me, he fits the best on LoE because of the support that team offers. But I think powerful opponent is the team you want to use him on.
What
are your thoughts on the changes he makes to his other two groupings, Frieza and
Frieza Saga?
Yeah,
Frieza Saga, definitely we need more from that tag.
Well, Frieza Saga and Frieza Force.
Oh yeah, I mean Frieza Force has a lot more room for potential growth than like Lineage of Evil does because of how much more units are on there. The only problem I have with Frieza Force is that they refuse to give like these other units from like because Frieza Force and Frieza Saga are like pretty 1-to-1 pretty much. And they don't want to give us like a Monster Zarbon. Like, they're giving us the whole free-to-play Appule Force. Like, honestly, I don't know how good they're gonna be. Maybe they're like optimal for Frieza Force. Maybe you want to run this Frieza alongside like two of those guys. Like, I don't know. They could be that good for all we know. But yeah, there's no golden Frieza in the game that's good. So that's number one. Like outside of the Frieza Saga, the Broly and Chile unit's unusable. There's no base form Broly. I mean, the red Zenkai Raffle Broly is okay, but you're not really gonna run him on the Frieza Force team. So I mean, at the end of the day,
I guess like Tagoma and Ginyu Tagoma, like stuff like that. But
I think when you're building like a specific Frieza Force team, you just end up building LoE at the end of the day, from what I'm looking at here.
Just wait for the Ginyu Force to come back.
Well, I was gonna say, what about the Ginyu
Yeah.
Force characters, and then potentially Purple Ginyu getting a Zenkai, things like that? Because
Yeah.
he was meant to be ran on Ginyu Force specifically, actually, with his uniques and stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say that because he has a lot of uniques that are specifically for Ginyu Force. So I don't know if you want to run this Frieza with him. Because remember, he has uniques that require all of your battle members to be Ginyu Force, which obviously Frieza's not. So his Zenkai, they might like take that away from his kit. They might make it more flexible for you, which would be good.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But at the end of the day, I think powerful opponent is clearly what this guy was designed to be used on. But I think what's cool about the design of his Z ability and the way that they've been doing a lot of these Z abilities is, there's 3 Z abilities here that he's buffing, right? He's buffing 3 different tags. So you can sort of mix and match how you build him. The problem with doing that, though, is that you build a lot of these teams where like a lot of your bench are not buffing like each other. So you get into like these weird situations where your whole team isn't buffing the whole rest of the team. And it's just, I don't know. Powerful opponent is the one team that really meshes this guy together well. And while I would like to say he's good on LOE, and he is good on LOE, the team is just not good within itself. So take that as you will.
They almost need a revival unit, man.
I mean, yeah.
Every team in the game.
That would be dude. One revival unit, and this team is like back on the map, I think.
Yeah. I think what's interesting, Goresh, what do you think about the red metal cooler as LOE's tank?
I mean,
I think
he still just gets rushed and killed, right?
Yeah. Oh, so you're talking about like an endurance or like something like counter as an. Okay, yeah. So that makes sense.
I mean, he's also regen, which doesn't help against Gohan, right?
Yeah. But what I was gonna say about Frieza is I feel like this probably might be a hard take, but I feel like Frieza is better than Zamasu. I feel like Frieza's entire kit is just very well built, and he's a very well polished LF. His animations are amazing. His kit's great. To what you said about being an upgraded Rose, I can see it. I mean, he has a blast armor, destroy Dragon Balls. Dude, the destroying Dragon Balls is so good because it effectively makes you able to get your Rising Rush faster than your opponent. Just swap him in, boom, one's gone. No work required, just swap him in, boom, it's gone. His green card is amazing, his cover is great. His damage is okay. And what I will say about him on LOE is that he looks way better on LOE because obviously, as Goresh mentioned, he has like 75% support on that team. So obviously he looks better on that team. But I feel like the issue with PO is that PO doesn't have like cohesiveness. It's just a bunch of units slapped on together. So that's why he doesn't look his best on powerful opponent. But I like this Frieza a lot. He's very good. Hopefully LOE or Frieza or Frieza Force to get some love in the near future, and he just he gets to see more play in PvP because obviously no one really wants to run LOE just for this Frieza, and the other 2 units are just gonna get clapped because the team is just not good. But I like him. I think he's better than Zamasu personally. So I don't know if that's a hot take to you guys or what, but he just very, very, very good, man. I like him a lot. I like him a lot.
Yeah. I could really
potentially see him being better than Zamasu. I mean, I haven't used him enough at like a high PvP level to really test that, but I'm definitely going to use him over the course of the next few days, and we'll see. But
I think
one other thing to mention that I forgot to say about this guy is his blue card is so powerful.
Jesus.
And the fact that purple LF Frieza holds an extra blue card, like that really brings out the damage that this guy can do. Like you land 1 blue card and you're in such an advantageous position just from that 1 blue card in most cases. Like, don't forget, he gets blue card damage straight up from his unique. So on top of all the support he's getting, on top of all the damage he's getting from his unique abilities that are just straight up like damage inflicted buffs, he gets specific damage inflicted buffs for his blue card as well. I think it's 25%. So I mean, it's pretty much just a nuke, and that's one other thing to mention as well about him. I think with comparing him to LF Rose, he does a better job of destroying Dragon Balls because it's not RNG. Like Rose can destroy your Dragon Balls, but he has to get lucky on his strike cards.
Yeah.
God,
like
so
30%.
It's
15%.
It feels like it's 5%. I'll legit be in my videos. I'll be like, Dragon Ball. No, I'll use like 6 strike cards. Dragon Ball. No, Dragon Ball. No.
It's like
God damn
it's like the inverse of the Gotenks feint.
Yeah. So you can actually run both Frieza and Rose together, and you could just like have like Dragon Ball destruction team and like try to have your opponent never get a rush. Like that's an option.
I mean, especially
one combo that I've actually found is really oppressive is this Frieza with purple DKP, because with his card draw speed, he's one of the few powerful opponent units that just has straight up card draw speed when he enters the battlefield on that team. So you can combo like 5-6 cards in a row, go into Demon King Piccolo, transform, and then you have like another 5 cards you can combo in right away.
And then every time the enemy swaps out, you draw another card.
Yeah, and then you get green cards that make you draw more cards, and then at that point you pretty much have your rush ready. So it's like that one combo there is really, really powerful.
Dude, I can see that team being pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Or just that combo of units.
Yeah, and what I love about the Dragon Ball destruction is if your enemy or your opponent has the rush, they have 4 cards on their hands with no Dragon Balls, you destroy one, they can't get it with that same combo unless they get super lucky with the card draw. So
Yeah.
so even then you can just kind of safely swap them in. But
Yeah.
I mean, you also see a lot of bait going on with like the revived Gohan. You know, they switch into red Gohan, making you think, now I can rush him, and then they just switch again. So you can do the same
I
thing.
think one thing to note about this Frieza is that he has 40% reduction like on cancelable, and on cover I think he gets 20% more. So on cover he's gonna at high stars I'm pretty certain that he's like a great tank, honestly, because 40% cover at high stars is pretty good.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a setup where I just build him completely tanky. I mean, LOE, like most of LOE's equipment is not like they're not designed for tank. I mean, there's one that is. There's double defense HP.
Yeah, I got that one.
But other than that one, there's not really much you can do for defense, which kind of sucks.
Yep, they're just raw power. I'm just looking right now. I think I have that one on him as well. Is it what is it called? This ha? You make the sound. Yeah, blast defense, strike defense, and 10% HP. All right, so
Yeah.
any more opinions? So Swift, have you pulled on the banner at all? Did you get him, or did you run into him?
I did the first step, and then I kind of stopped after that. I've ran into him a couple times. I did want to mention one of the things I think is really good about him is he's basically similar to the yellow DKP in the sense that he just like permanently nullify endurance. So like
Yep.
even if you
Yes.
rush, like so that's really good right there. Just by itself is an amazing thing to have. Especially in this meta going against all these future Gohans and these revival teams, you want to be able to nullify that endurance. And then also the permanent blast armor. I mean, that's just incredible value alone. So, I mean, and then obviously ZVG, and you guys mentioned some other really good things about his kit. I think he is really good. ZVG brought up the opinion against Zamasu. I don't think that's a hot take. I think they're probably pretty dang close. You know, Zamasu's got that ability to get his vanish back and whatnot, but I do think this Frieza is really, really good. I'm even running into him in the higher ranks, so I think he's good. But like we've already kind of said, Eloise still needs some extra love here. So
That permanent endurance nullification is another similarity to Rose, because they both do that.
oh yeah, you're right.
How does it feel knowing that Gogeta 4 is the worst Annie left, bro? Like,
Well, this
The
guy's not
headline
technically an
unit.
anniversary LF, right? Because this is like the first.
well, I want to count him as one because, as they said,
'Cause I
the
want
third
to.
Annie isn't over yet. But yeah, dude, I really, really like this Frieza a lot. Like, his kid is just so good, man. The kid, dude, his kid is like, his first unique is like two
It's like
pages,
VB
dude, no
last
joke.
year.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted
It's like
to
an
say.
essay, yeah.
It's like VB.
I think that is the single longest unique ability in the game. Like in terms of length, paragraph length.
Oh, the one where he gets based on the defeated battle allies or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one is ridiculous.
Also, one thing,
I was reading it, I was like, okay, so he always gets draw speed. Okay.
When I saw that unique ability, when I was doing my breakdown video, I like pulled it up and I was like, hold on, because whenever I see like a very long unique ability, I always compare it to VB from year 2. Because I remember looking at his and I was like, dude, this is like 7 paragraphs long.
He was
His
the
is
first
way-
character I think that was like that. I was like,
Yeah.
what the hell is this?
His unique abilities are like 30% longer than Vegito Blues, which is insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think this Frieza is a very good last man standing, especially since he recovers Vanish on his main ability, which is like, dude, he just has everything, man. This Frieza, if I made LOE, dude, I would have went so ham on this banner, but dude, he's just so good. He's just so good.
Yep.
I'll tell you
I'll
right now,
one thing about
if
this
Eloise,
Frieza that's
oh my
like,
God, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'll tell you one thing about this Frieza that it's just, I know it's just a me problem, but like I'm so used to the other yellow Frieza. So like I've like 4 or 5 times subbed this dude on covers and just watched him get completely decimated. It's like,
Wait, he doesn't take
Damn
key?
it.
Jeez.
huh?
He doesn't take the key away, yeah.
No. I'm so used to the stupid other freaking yellow full power Frieza that I'm just like, oh yeah, this isn't that one, huh? I remember that dude in his prime. He would just be a monster defensively.
Yeah, he was a menace, man.
He was.
That's his main problem, but it's like it's really funny because I've done it like 2 or 3 times. I'm like, oh, that's not him.
When that old full power Frieza came out, he was arguably the best unit in the game because he was a hard counter to the best unit in the game at that time, which was Super Vegito.
Yeah, he was disgusting.
Unless you want to count Namekoku, but he came out at the same time.
And the blue card, dude, his blue card did so much damage. I mean, if he gets a Zenkai, he's gonna be really
beast. Good. And he had freaking endurance, which is still pretty uncommon back then.
Yeah.
Also, let's not forget it's pizza time.
Yeah, pizza.
It was so funny.
Cards,
it was so funny.
Open
Just delivering like 6 pizzas in a row. You know, just like 3 blue cards in a row. Sometimes when you just swapped into him with like LF Frieza on the back.
Yeah, those are the days, man. So
I remember watching
I've gotten confused a couple times, and I'm not ashamed to admit it.
It happened to me with Vegito
I remember
Blue.
watching.
Go ahead.
I remember watching even like Ryuden or DFree just like showcasing those units. They'd be like pizza, 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 just like over and over again. It was hilarious.
Especially when the LF Frieza came out, it was like, oh my god, so many blue cards.
Yep. But you know who this happened to me with DFree is Vegito Blue when I played both of them in the same team, and I was like, wait, does the green card have blast armor or the strike card have blast armor? Oh, that was the wrong one.
The first day Vegito Blue came out, I was like, oh crap, because I'm recording at like freaking like 1 a.m. or whatever, so I'm like half asleep. I'm like, oh crap, he doesn't have blast armor on his strikes anymore.
Yeah.
Yep, completely forgotten about it. All right, so there we got one more unit on this banner, and that was just an extreme. But Swift, what is your opinion on the extreme Namekoku?
Okay, so I personally did not pull this guy, but I've been kind of reviewing his kit. I mean, his Z ability is for Frieza Saga, and that's it. I mean, there's no Saiyan or Sun Family buff or anything. It's just strictly Frieza Saga, so that's kind of a downside in my opinion. I mean, I guess you could throw him on a full Frieza Saga team and just see how he does. He is a support unit, so as an extreme support type, he's not going to be doing much damage. I mean, his kit isn't horrible. His green card heals the entire team, I think like 10%. He's got some support uniques built into his kit. I mean, looking at the kit alone, he's not that bad, but then you look at the entire unit overall and he's an extreme support type. So, I mean, personally, I wouldn't really probably run this guy, especially at lower stars, but overall, it's a cool unit. It's a EX Namekoku, so I think it's cool. You know, he's Saiyan Sun Family, so he has access to all of those equips. There's a pretty wide variety of, you know, Saiyan equips. But yeah, overall, extreme support unit, decent kit. I mean, even when you go to look at his maximum stats at 14 stars, it's not anything too impressive, and obviously not too many people are going to be able to get him 14 stars just because, you know, how hard it is to pull extremes in the first place. So, overall, I guess kind of a cool unit, but not something that I would personally really run. What do you guys think?
I think if the EX isn't transforming, then they serve no purpose. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if they aren't like Goku type beat, then they don't serve any purpose. But you could use him, obviously, but no one's gonna. I doubt anyone is gonna use this guy whatsoever. But yeah, he's just there. He's a EX. All EXs are from the same thing. Their stats are just atrocious. Their kits can be good, but without the stats, then it's just a waste, right?
Yeah, I mean, he has to be pretty good. He defeated Frieza, right?
Yeah.
Why isn't he a red then?
Dude.
I mean,
the thing about him, he was actually like, I talked about this earlier, but I think with Frieza Saga, it's kind of interesting what they're trying to do here. I don't know if they're like taking it full like seriously, or if they're just kind of like half-heartedly doing it. But they dropped the Ultra Goku. For one, he doesn't really have much synergy here. In fact, he's actually pretty gimped if you're running the like versions of this team with Frieza, or even like if you happen to be running Krillin. Like he's just, the Ultra ability just gimps him. The Z ability isn't for that team in particular, but he's still like their best red character.
Krillin.
And then also like they also do have the new Ultra Vegeta, who is geared more towards this team, even though he's pretty good on like Saiyans. He's geared towards this team. Then you have this dude. Then you have the free yellow Goku. You have the 2 blue Goku Zenkais. Like then you have a Ginyu getting a Zenkai. Like they're trying to do something here. But I don't think it's like gonna really amount to too much unless they take it more seriously than this. Because like Frieza having that Z ability, that's like a missed opportunity. If they really wanted to take this seriously, like it needed to be at lower than like 6 stars, I believe it is. Yeah. Like the Goku in and of himself is like their best screen for now. And if you use him on that team and you're using 4, 5, 6 Z abilities, I mean he's cool. The supporting attribute for the damage is like the best thing that he's doing, though, in my opinion. He does pick up like he has some things built into his kit like draw speed. He has the increases in damage and stuff like that. But like he like ZVG saying, like his stats are so low I had him like 1 star, for example. So like
oh my God.
1 star, he's not doing anything to like the walls of the game, like the real walls of the game. Like I ran into like some 14-star Saiyan teams, Zenkai teams. I'm just like, he's not doing anything here other than the supporting attribute. And the healing is cool. The canceling of debuffs kind of comes in handy with the green card for allies. Like that comes in handy. But he's not really adding too much value to you personally at least right now at a lower star level, personally, in my opinion.
I think one thing a lot of people have to understand about these EX units is unless they're specifically going out of their way to make these guys like really obviously good, like Goku, who's an exception.
Like
most
Whis
of the time,
Once Upon a Time, or the Red Gogeta Once Upon a Time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean they used to make like really powerful EXs, but now that it's sort of been like these are for collection purposes and that's it. Right? You're never gonna really use these guys in PvP.
I think the bar has raised though, because Once Upon a Time, I think we'd look at this Goku and say he's pretty good as an EX character. In fact, maybe even one of the better ones in the game. I just think the bar has raised for EXs too. We don't talk about it, but I think the bar has raised a lot.
Well, I think the bar
especially
has raised,
with Goku coming out.
I was gonna say I think the bar has raised not for EXs but for every other unit. So the EXs haven't evolved to reach the point to match like all the sparkings that are coming out.
No, that's true. Like I was just saying, like he wasn't doing anything to these freaking Zenkai 7
exactly.
14
Yeah,
stars.
like EXs have not power crept themselves for a long time, whereas sparkings are constantly doing that.
Other than like Goku,
that's right.
That's it.
Yeah, Goku is the one exception by today's standards because he's a transforming character and he is literally designed to counter one of the best characters in the game. And he has a very powerful Z ability and he's on a very, I'd say, relevant team right now. So he's going to be good. Like he was, and he's the one lone standout of an EX that we've had in a long time, like a really long time.
I would actually say Movies is probably a top 3 team in the game.
Movies is really good. That's why I said like kind of like right now because they just kind of came out from nowhere. I don't know how they're gonna age, another like 8 months from now, but they're really good.
I think one thing to note is how they can work on teams like GT and LOE, give them Zenkais, all this other stuff, and they're still like kind of mid. But they release one movie banner, and lo and behold, the team's top 3 in the game. It's like it's kind of funny to see, honestly, how they can just like work on attack for so long and they're still not at the level like movies where there's released one banner and now they're like one of the top teams in the game. It's kind of funny.
Well, they gave them a couple of really good characters. I'm really scared for movie Zenkai characters in particular, like Yellow Gohan, Ouch. Purple Bojack. Like I'm scared of some of those Zenkais.
The Blue Vegeta also.
Yeah, exactly. That was a menace to society, bro.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, blast armor.
Bro, if they Zenkai that OG purple Bojack, that would be because people would just run purple red. You would run that Bojack Revival Gohan and then the new red Bojack. Yeah, that would be
have fun with
nasty
that.
team.
Yeah. And you have
they definitely have a list of like do not Zenkai ever characters.
And Gohan's at the top of that list.
I was gonna say I guarantee that Yellow Gohan is on there.
He's at the top of the list. He has to be.
Yeah, I know.
Like him, like Super Baby 2, like IT Goku, like they're all on there probably.
Yeah, they have to be on the wall, like the FBI's top 10 most wanted or something. Just like a daily reminder. Do not change those.
Yes. Yeah, those characters have to be on there. Gohan is like, if he ever got a Zenkai, I'd actually genuinely be surprised. But still, like, there's other movies characters that are just frightening to think about. So movies could be very good.
Spirit Bomb absorbed Goku from the 13 movie. You'd be a good one.
He'd be great.
The green one?
That's the blue one, huh?
Yeah. No, the green
watch
one,
him just be a freaking disgusting character.
The green one with the green card that blocks, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah.
He
See?
would be
movies have some
nasty.
fun stuff just waiting back there.
Yeah.
But
or even like red Android 13. That'd be a tough one.
Yeah. To be fair, they've been kind of toned down a lot lately with the Zenkai, so I don't know how crazy some of these characters like that Green Goku would be. But to be fair, Green Goku specifically, like if he got some early game damage, I think he'd be fine. And obviously a status upgrade. I think
I would want them to like specifically focus on the movies tag, like nothing Sun Family, like nothing Sun Family or Saiyans.
Yeah, but what I'm wondering, if they say they really never Zenkai IT Goku and the Gohan, is there any way they can ever make them relevant again? Because they kind of just stopped doing like those balance patches. So those units are
what do you mean, Palms?
trash, right?
No.
Palms, what do you mean, bro?
No.
The new PP system coming in, bro. More stats, you know what I'm saying?
To new units.
Yeah, bro. Don't worry. Yeah, don't worry, bro. Don't worry.
They're not Zenkaiing them for a reason. There's a reason they don't want them to be good. Like that's the whole point.
Yeah.
It's probably
Some of these characters are just on the do not Zenkai list, like Goresh was saying.
Yeah, it's like, okay, we don't know how to balance them, so we'd rather just not.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, even if you go all the way back to some of the original characters in the game that were very meta relevant on the topic, like Green Bardock, like you don't even need to tune him that crazy. His kit is still going to be disgusting with the Zenkai. He doesn't need to have Gohan level Zenkai. Like any Zenkai on him is just because he has that oppressive playstyle. So like anything they do to him is just going to be like, nah, don't do it.
The only counter argument that we have against them saying, oh, well, we're never going to Zenkai this character, we're never going to Zenkai this character, is guess what? They Zenkai Blue Bardock. So that's the only counter argument. Is like they are actually out of their mind for Zenkaiing that unit. And
he should have been at the top of the list.
Dude, they Zenkai'd him so early too. Like he was one of the one of the guys that were like, damn, this quick already?
I don't know why they thought it was okay to do that. Like, honestly, if I was going to pick one character out of the entire roster of this game to not Zenkai, he would be number one. The reason for that is because, Yellow Gohan's going to be annoying to fight against. IT Goku's going to be annoying to fight against. Like, Super Baby 2 is really, really annoying too. For Bardock, they literally can never, ever create a, really, really broken Super Saiyan character ever again because of him. So... It limits too much.
Yep.
It affects the entire meta for many seasons and months to come in the future.
Unless they also have debuffs and not just buffs for certain tags or units. And also the question is how powerful or how much of a difference will that make to units like Android 18 and Reg Gohan? And they're like, yeah, I'm tier 4. I'm still gonna wreck your shit.
Yeah, and I mean, we've talked about it numerous times about how like these Super Saiyan units come out and it almost seems like they purposely like nerf them pre-release, like before they even come out. It just feels like they're not, as good as they should be. And the answer we always come back to is just the fact that they did Zenkai that Bardock, and they can't go too crazy with Super Saiyan characters.
Even that Trunks that just came out, he's good, but his stats are terrible because of that.
I don't think
that's the reason.
Yeah,
I don't think the Trunks. I really think that the Trunks got affected by Bardock, honestly, because even if Trunks is that good, would you really run that Trunks on Super Saiyans? Like,
I mean, there's been since on the topic of Bardock, there's been a couple Super Saiyans that are really good, like Gogeta and Broly.
Super Gogeta. Yeah, and Broly.
But they're like probably the only
Super
ones.
Gogeta was a mistake.
Yeah,
I would too. Like they don't have to make these characters.
Though. He's cool.
Yeah, they don't have to make these characters good. Like they could release like a very okay Super Saiyan unit, like that 1-star Green Goku you were using in your video. Like you were destroying Zenkai 7 like 10-star plus units with a 1-star EX because he was a Super Saiyan.
Yeah, but that's kind of
the fact that
how ridiculous it is.
Go ahead, see.
The fact that Bardock can make Yellow Broly good is a crime. Honestly, the fact that Bardock can make Yellow Broly good is a crime, bro. I think
we should call the Geneva Convention.
That's just.
The crazy thing about Bardock's Zenkai is I don't think they even changed his support. They just gave him other stuff for himself.
I think they made it like a little longer is what they did.
Yeah, 15,
it may be a little
right?
longer, but like they gave him stuff for himself, really.
Yeah.
This is like, but still him being relevant is like, no, he shouldn't be like this relevant.
It's kind of weird too how other supports get their stats nerfed, but they didn't hold back with Bardock whatsoever. It's like,
well, because he's
really,
not
bro,
support.
like,
he's a melee type.
Well, he's
So he's
a
fine.
melee support. He's a melee support if you.
Well, we have a lot of those, like Trunks and Mai as a melee support. The purple Vegeta from last year. Like, there's a lot of those types of characters.
The
SS4 Goku. Like, there's a lot of them.
Legends Limited Green Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta.
Legends Limited Gohan freaking offers what? What is it?
Oh, yeah,
40% key recovery of blast for like no reason? Like what?
And,
For what?
but what I don't like about those Super Saiyan teams is like we talked about this earlier, Swift. Right? It's just they live and die with the crits. Like if you get those
Yeah.
crits,
Yeah.
right, you're destroying whoever is in front of you. But if you don't get those crits, you're like, damn, 5 cards? That was it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good point.
Full crit equips.
Yeah, that helps. All right. For the sake of time, and because we got just a little sidetracked, I guess, we have 2 more smaller topics. And the first one, ZVG, I have a question for you. Do you feel the hype for the Appule Force?
No. And I'm gonna give my reason why. The reason why I feel like they have to make them like the Ginyu Force. I feel like they've been, ever since the whole Ginyu Force team, the event came out, but I feel like they've honestly regressed with the team free-to-play units. I mean, the Gokus, they're trash. And the fact that you can't run them all together on the same team is even worse. So hopefully these new Appule guys or whatever actually are good, like at least two of them, actually viable in PvP, I hope. Because the diversity is what we want in PvP, right? And we want Frieza Saga, Frieza Force to be like a good team. So hopefully that some of them are good, but I'm not excited whatsoever. I mean,
they called.
I don't know.
They called one of them
not
robbery.
exciting.
Bro, was I the only one? I looked at all their names. I'm like, who are these
Yep.
people? Like, what?
Or
Wait, you don't
Appule is
you
the
don't
only one I know.
You don't know Ramon?
it's like Ramon. And then there's the Polish gas
hopefully
station.
we can get them. Hopefully we can get them to like 14 stars or whatever, and they're actually pretty good. But we'll see. But them giving us more free-to-play characters is good. But please don't make them like the Gokus, please. Like the Gokus were. I know people said that it was good that they gave them up, but honestly, in hindsight, bro, they're just they messed up really bad. You carry them on the same team, they're trash. It's not a good look. A waste of
So
energy,
it is confirmed
honestly.
that these units are free to play, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
have to be because
Okay,
there's no
that's a good
way
thing.
no one's
That's a
gonna
good
summer
thing.
for them, bro.
What? But
Yeah.
that character is playable finally.
It'll be interesting because we don't really know much about what these guys are going to be. We don't even know if they're Sparkings or EXs, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So this could be like a repeat of what they did with the Ginyu Force, where their initial event you can farm them up, and then later on they're going to be like on banners. I don't know.
Yeah, but at least 6.
They could be
At
heroes
least,
too.
at
Who
least
knows?
6 stars, not just like 3 stars like the Ginyu Force I think was initially.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if they're as good as
Yeah,
the
at
Ginyu
least
Force
one of them
was,
has card draw speed.
yeah, like if they're as good as the Ginyu Force used to be, I'm excited because I remember once I talked to Zairu and he was like maining the Ginyu Force. He showed me the way of the strike-based Ginyu Force. It was so much fun to run this team, and tank rising rushes with Raccoon, erase people with Barter's blue card. That was just incredible.
Oh, those were the days, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, bro. After the Ginyu Force, bro, they just regress when it comes to like free to play teams in general.
Back when
teams.
they definitely like went overboard with that burger just because of Super Vegeta. Like he could instantly kill Super Vegeta with his blue card.
Dude, Raccoon was the one who was like, okay, he's the one who was like, yeah, bro, he tanked, damaged everything. He was the one who was like, yeah, I got it. He was like the topo back in the day.
He did good strike
Honestly.
damage.
Yeah. He had support to a team, heal everything, dude. Like he was
Hey,
insane.
man, but it all was made work by Ginyu's amazing support back
That's
then.
true.
Yeah.
That's true. The crits and then him having the green cards for card draw speed as well. Man. So yeah, hopefully the Appule Force is going to be anything like this because otherwise, yeah, you're getting some chrono crystals probably by farming them up. But then what else is there? You're just, collecting dust in your box or something. That would be sad.
Yeah. Hopefully they're more like the Ginyu Force than the Super Warriors.
Yeah.
So
Please, God, if they made, dude, honestly, dude, the Super Warriors have to be the worst, one of the worst decisions they've ever made, dude. Honestly, bro.
hey man, they were good together for a while. And at
No,
14
bro,
stars,
they-
they're pretty good.
bro,
But
they were
really
always trash,
half-assed
bro.
it though.
I think that besides like EX
ultimate
Bujin, before Bujin, I think wasn't Yamcha the last unit to get like a traditional lock-in with his main ability for like 10 counts? I think he is.
Yeah.
So
Something like that, yeah.
unit. Yeah.
And
Yeah, I think
Yamcha
you're
would blow
right.
you up, dude. Yamcha
Yeah.
was really powerful.
Oh yeah, he had that car draw speed.
Yeah, he would rip you to pieces. And Tien was okay, but Krillin with the support and Dragon Balls and all that stuff, pretty great, man. But then you have the Ultimate Chaozu just chilling back there and doing whatever he
It's
does.
just 3 people.
Dude, that unique.
Dude, how do
ability
we
is
not
insane.
have? How do we not have a TN that did the multiple tri beams to sell, bro? How do we not have a sparking TN already?
We need a
come on, bro.
we need a Tien and a Chaozu assist where like you could blow up Chaozu on somebody with his awakened or something. And, like,
That'd be pretty neat.
And then it
No
just-
joke.
yeah.
Afterwards, it just takes away Tien's will to live, and he has like -5 car draw speed.
No. They need to get stronger. Like they need to do some wicked attack to Nappa. I'm pretty sure he would get buffs when Chaozu dies because he was hella angry. He turned up his everything and Nappa just tanked it. But yeah, that was pretty cool.
Was it as cool as Dirty Fireworks?
Dirty fire, dude.
What an ultra moment, dude.
Honestly, them making him an ultra is kind of like it's. I feel like they just didn't have any idea what to do for like another free-to-play ultra. And they just
Yeah, it's
chose
definitely
that.
because they're saving all the hype moments for some of
Yeah,
them.
yeah, they really are.
Yeah.
It's
I
kind
think
of obvious.
the Namegoku was definitely an exception because he was the first
Yeah.
one. And then it's like, all right, well, now we're going to do, Dirty Fireworks Vegeta. Next, we're going to do, I don't know, like driving school Piccolo. What's actually the
No,
next
they're gonna keep it going with the Namek Saga, and they're gonna do the I forget what the move is called in like the fighting games, but they're gonna do the Gohan where he does the whole like combo on
Oh
Frieza
yeah,
and the Senkai.
dude, that was sick. That was sick in the show. No joke. I could dead see that be a ultra unit too.
Yeah,
And
they're
if
gonna
the
do it.
team
Watch.
theme too.
He
of
rages
the
out.
Frieza
He just
Saga,
rips
yeah.
Frieza to shreds.
Yeah.
Sure, just
I'd be hyped for that though, because I love Gohan.
Yeah.
You're gonna
but
get-
still,
No.
it
He's
just kinda
a
talks
hybrid.
about what they're
He's a
doing.
hybrid. He's a hybrid. We don't want any more hybrids. I just remember he's a
if-
hybrid. No more.
If they release
no
a
more
Gohan
hybrids,
Ultra,
please.
he's gonna have like endurance. He's gonna have
and
triple card
and
draws.
revival.
Revival with endurance.
After the
Oh, that's
endurance,
so
another
cool.
revival with endurance.
Oh my god, imagine that.
Dude, that'd be pretty
No,
hilarious. honestly.
I think the
See
first
the game
summonable
burn.
ultra is going to be Yajirobe, who cuts Vegeta's tail off. I said,
Oh yeah,
I put it out there.
Someone said 20 count lock.
Oh. Thanks, Donjay.
Wait, doesn't the OG Green Future Gohan had something similar where like his green card locked you from subbing them in for like 20 counts. That was pretty beast back
Oh yeah,
in the day.
well, didn't it do a sub count up?
Yeah, 10 counts up,
Yeah,
but he also
exactly.
threw out your unit, so basically you get
Yeah.
10 plus 10.
It was 20 count. Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
20
that
count.
was
Dude,
so
that was
disgusting.
insane back in the day, man. Dude, if he got a Zenkai, bro, hybrids would just
Probably
be
on
like
like
on a
rank
different
9
level,
on the
man.
list or something.
Yeah, that was disgusting.
Yeah. All right. So we got one more thing that we can talk about that happened this week, and those are the leaks from Ryokutia. I don't know how exactly to pronounce him, but we might be getting an Oob or a Mach-Oob, a Super Oob, he says here, and Ginyu Zenkai made possible. And for me, I'm like, okay, Mach-Oob, cool, whatever. But now I'm wondering, is it going to be the green Ginyu that gets a Zenkai? Is it going to
It
be?
has to be.
I want the extreme Ginyu to get a Zenkai and be the start of the Ginyu
Nah,
Force.
No, we
The-
don't.
I think it
No.
might be the,
We
I
want
think
the
it might-
green Ginyu to get a Zenkai, bro, please.
I think it might be the EX one, just because I think the story event is getting revamped. That has that purple
Yep.
Ginyu art on it. The dreaded
Yeah,
Ginyu
it
Force
is getting
story event.
revamped, and Purple Ginyu is so the Krillin event is getting revamped. The one where they Zenkai Krillin in, and they're adding stages to it. Not really revamped, but they're adding stages, and Ginyu's art is showing there. That actually pops up on the 20th, so next update. So it'll most likely be that Ginyu. Which is why I was talking about him earlier a little bit when I was asking Goresh
like-
about Frieza Force and Ginyu Force and stuff.
Because I can understand people
that
want the green
sucks.
Ginyu because he holds a green card, so he could be really cool if you run him on Frieza Force with like the new Frieza and maybe LF Frieza, for example.
Yeah.
Because
that'd
then
be
you're
crazy.
feeding
Yeah.
them green cards for sub count reduction the entire time, which is insane.
He's the one that deserves it the most, and he would be the most relevant, I think. His Z ability
Yeah.
would be pretty good as well, too. So, like,
Yeah,
it's like,
dude.
Strike and HP, right?
yeah, striking. Oh, that's actually just for Ginyu Force and then Frieza Force, so he picks up the strike attack, but still. But I also wouldn't have minded Red either as another free
Ooh,
option,
Red.
because if
Ooh,
they took
nice.
away his, like, self debuffs, he could actually be a pretty good green card generator, and he has a Dragon Ball Steel. He could be pretty cool, too, but I think it's going to be the EX. And
Bro,
really the question is
that's
with the
the-
EX potentially getting a Zenkai is how flexible are they going to be with him? Because he is built for Frieza Force and Ginyu Force, specifically with Ginyu Force completely as a team.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that this is the start of the entire team.
I guess I like how I like how it literally just says oob. That's it.
Yeah, it
says
just said
that-
no. I
that's
think it's the
leak,
line
oob.
break above
Yeah,
that. It said
super.
super oob.
Yeah, super. Yeah,
Okay,
so,
yeah,
That's it.
Majub.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, who's he gonna come out with? I wonder.
So he's. I mean, that has to be an all-star banner, right? They can't
Yeah, it
sell
is gonna be
oob to
all-star
us
banner.
on a step up. Okay, yeah. So I mean, oob plus like I don't know, blue gi Goku maybe. I don't know.
A new baby would be pretty interesting.
Stop. We've gotten like 50.
Yeah, but what about hear
we've got like
hear
50
me out.
Goku
Hear me out.
Blacks.
51.
So
yeah.
I mean, we have
gotten
had
50
like
Goku
a
Blacks.
yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised, but yeah.
What would
Oh,
Oob's
wait.
tags be?
You.
Would it be
Fusion
fusions?
Warrior, GT.
If it's Majub, he'd have fusions and he would have regen,
Regen.
probably
Ooh,
along with
that'd be-
GT.
Oh,
But if
that'd
it's
be
just regular
interesting.
Oob, he only has like GT.
Earthling. What?
Everything. Wait, could Oob be a super warrior? Is that possible?
No, he's not gonna get it.
Nah.
I mean,
think
really,
we-
with
I think
Oob, you
it's-
can kind of just reference Dokkan and see what they did there. They're probably gonna do the same thing on Legends.
I think it's just GT, regen, and fusion.
Fusion Warrior.
he wouldn't be kids, would he? Not that that's even like a relevant tag.
No, he's
No,
not a kid.
not at
What do you mean, bro?
Majub.
It's hella relevant, bro. I mean, we got Kid Goku, we got, yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, it's pretty relevant, bro. It's pretty relevant.
Obviously.
He really won't have any tags though if it's just regular. But it does say Super Oob, so like
Yeah.
should
It is
be
Majub,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what Majub's called. Yeah.
Yeah. So Majub's interesting though because he is a good choice because he has very relevant tags. If that like the thing is like he would have again most likely anyway Regen and Fusion Warrior and GT. Those are very relevant teams.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Especially GT like right now coming off the anniversary. We'll see what they continue to do with them going forward, or if we have to wait another year for them to get more stuff.
I think what they could do to really make him desired for GT is they can make him a health buffer for GT.
Yeah. I was looking at him as like, in terms of GT specifically, I was like, well, I did a video on a team guide, and in that video, I just like directly went through every color for GT, and I was like, you know what? GT is one of the main teams that's like fully like built to be not just like strike based or blast based, but they just kind of go both ways because their roster is so thin that their best characters are a little bit of both with some defensive characters mixed in, and you have the Zenkai characters. You can pick your poison with the red Zenkais or whatever. But long
Actually-
story short, their options are so limited for every color. Most notably, like it depends what you're trying to do. Like if you look at purple, for example, their only real option is SS4 Goku, who's a Zenkai character. So like what I personally want them to get another support because I don't want to see Baby ever Zenkai. So for me, that would be perfect if he was like a purple support type character or something like that.
I just had a revelation. What if they did this? It's Oob, the health buffer for GT, and he revives into Majub because that's technically what happened, right? He gets beat up by Baby, and then he gets the Fat Boo, like he absorbs Fat Boo or whatever, and he becomes Majub. What if that's what happens?
That'd be
Dude,
cool.
that
That'd be pretty dope.
That would be
That
cool.
would-
Dude, do we really
That'd be
want
cool.
a regen
However-
unit with revival, bro? Like, do we really want that in the game? Like,
I
do we
guess.
really want
I was
a
gonna-
regen with revival?
I was gonna say that'd be cool, but it wouldn't be like great for the non-GT teams. But I guess it doesn't really matter because he revives anyway.
Yeah. And then
like
I
in
think-
terms of like how transforming and reviving characters wouldn't pick up that tag until post. So
Yeah.
I
Oh,
guess
yeah,
it doesn't
that's
matter,
true.
though.
Oh yeah.
but it's also like
I think
But
I
you
think
want him to die though. So.
yeah, also CVG, you asked who he's going to release with, right? And Noctis just wrote like maybe we get GT Goten. Imagine we get like GT Goten and Gohan that are evil and be like powerful opponents.
Anyway, that'd be hilarious. But I made a tweet on my Twitter about how I feel like they should have released Ice and Nova with LS Super Saiyan for Goku and then released Oob with Gogeta 4 and then somebody else. I feel like that would have been
about,
the
like,
smarter play. Honestly.
GT Super Saiyan 3 Goku. We don't have him yet.
God, I want
Oh,
that
that's
so
pretty good.
bad. That's
That's
like
pretty
that's
good.
like my favorite Super Saiyan 3, and I've been asking for that for
It's
so
gonna
long.
be an
dude.
extreme.
I'd be so
just
hyped for
because
that.
they're gonna
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
just like extreme Goku Black
I
and
can
stuff.
see.
It's gonna be extreme.
Wait, I just realized GT already has a HP buff. And it's the EX Purple Goku.
True.
Oh my god.
They need more.
Yeah, I just remember.
Screw
I
it.
think
Give me
Saiyan
another
is the
one.
only. Oh, never mind. I forgot Hybrids has 2 HP buffs too. I just remember.
Oh yeah, they have Gotenks and Kid Gohan.
And yeah, the Kid Gohan.
I mean, Fusion Warriors could use the love. I mean, I look at Fusion Warriors in the meta right now. I mean, obviously Regen is still really good, but if Majub was Fusions, I could see him really helping the Fusion Warrior team.
Yeah. I mean,
The
they
funny
got
thing is,
what?
Fusion's just got like what, 3 new characters?
Yeah,
And they're still trash.
Vegito Blue, and
Zamasu.
Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. I mean, if they really wanted to give Fusions help, they would have just Zenkai Super Vegito, right? That's what they would have done.
Yeah, that's true.
I think Super Vegito might be like shadow on that like don't Zenkai list.
Maybe.
I think out of all the non-Zenkai LFs, he's probably the one that you look at as like, okay, yeah, don't Zenkai this dude.
I mean, his
to
main
be
ability is
fair,
pretty bad, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a horrible main ability. To be fair, Vegeta, speaking of main ability, that one, Vegeta could be a threat if he got one.
The green one,
older Vegeta.
he is the one I actually never want to see. That
Yeah,
green
yeah,
one.
actually
Dude,
thinking about it, he may be on that list. He'd be disgusting.
He'd be pretty crazy, bro. Like he has 2 times card draw speed. He has a lock in. He has support already in his kit. Dude, he has.
Yeah, you know who would
damage
actually be
reduction too.
disgusting
Oh
on
my
that
God.
list out of all the non-Zenkai LFs? Probably just Goten. Like, do you think the thing about Goten is that like they just dropped another purple hybrid, so it's not as pertinent. But had he got his Zenkai pre-Gohan purple releasing, he could have been disgusting. He still could be, but like he could have been really relevant for a while.
Isn't his equip like the best plat equip in the game? He gets health.
like,
he
and
gets
he
double
also has,
defense.
like, the
he gets
stupid,
pure everything.
He has a super unique and buffs exclusively for Gohan. Like, can you think about
Yeah,
that? Like
dude.
how the
I was actually
no,
using
you
him
just run purple,
recently.
purple, red. Screw it.
Yep.
Yeah, I was using him recently at 14 stars. Like he was still doing good damage against like 14-star Zenkais. Like
The fact he gets like on that Sun Family team, he gets the full key gain or whatever. Like he's pretty awesome. But the only thing with him is that he was specifically designed to be around with only Super Saiyan 1 characters. And then he has the unique for
yeah.
Gohan. But like when he's on that full Super Saiyan 1 team, he does get the buffs, like the ultimate damage and stuff like that. You could just take all that off though with a Zenkai.
yeah,
Screw all
I
the
mean,
cheekiness.
because he was specifically designed to be ran alongside like the blue Super Saiyan Gohan and then the yellow
Yeah,
Goku
yeah.
from that same banner.
That's why I said
Like, they
Super
wanted
Saiyan
you to
1
run all.
exclusively.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, so
But yeah,
so
yeah,
that's
Super Vegito back on the topic. He might be on that list, but I don't know. But Fusions, I don't think Fusions really needs much, if anything. Especially at like a higher star level. I think they're pretty good.
All Fusions needs is a vital stack support. That's really it. They need some support to like gel the team together. Honestly.
keep in
That's
mind
why
too.
also that Vegito is pretty good. He's another character that's a damager doing supporting stuff.
I mean, 20%
Oh,
only is like is not really like support like synergy and also he's blast oriented and the team has mainly strike fighters on it, so it's kind of weird to run him
Yeah.
with Gogeta
it's
4
like
Super
Zenkai
Saiyan
Gogeta.
Gogeta. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Zenkai Gogeta has. I checked his kit the other day. His Zenkai is literally based upon his stats, bro. His kit is just. They didn't do anything to his kit, bro.
Yeah.
But the stats are carrying this man, bro. Honestly.
No, they
bro.
gave him that stupid green card that's like just you hit the green card and you lose the game. That's what they did.
Bro, I couldn't believe that they didn't touch his kit like at all. Like honestly, like.
No, you land the green card and it's an auto win. That's why.
Guess what? He's a Super Saiyan. And guess what Super Vegito is?
I don't know, Saiyan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
It all comes back full circle to Bardock being dumb.
Sad. All right. Anyway, so I think that's it for now. We're gonna take a quick break. We'll be back with questions. And since a couple weeks now, we've been taking questions from chat, and questions with donations will take precedence, but we will still take your questions. We should be back in 3 minutes. See you on the other side. All right, we are back. I hope you enjoyed the hidden potential theme as much as the next guy. And now it's time for your questions. So post away. And as always, donations take precedence, but questions are questions. So let's go.
Okay, this is a good one from Sammy. Do you think that the PvP changes will change the game completely or not? And I'm assuming he's talking about what they announced in the video and stuff, the possible, like specific character buffs that might be coming in the future. What do you guys think about that?
I need to see
we
it
don't-
done before I really
Yeah.
criticize it. to
Yeah,
be honest.
exactly. I was gonna say we don't know too much about it yet. We just know about the idea of it.
Right.
I think it to me it sounds good in practice. I mean, their goal of the system is to promote diversity, which I think is good, right? You don't want to queue up and fight the same two teams every single time.
Yeah.
So if they
Yeah.
accomplish that goal via this system, then I think it's a success.
Yeah. In my opinion, I feel like it's like you guys said, it really just depends how they handle it. Like if they specifically reserve these buffs for like just new units that are coming out, I don't know if I'd be a big fan of that. But if it's something like they're just trying to like revitalize older units that, you know, don't really see too much gameplay in PvP, I think that could be cool. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
overall,
if they
it just
come
depends
out,
how they do it.
if they come out with like a new ridiculously overpowered, like, I don't know, transforming Goju to blue, and he gets a 70% damage buff from the system, then no, I'm gonna hate it, right?
Yeah.
But
I also wouldn't
if they
like
do
that
it-
because it would skew the abilities of the character. Like you don't really
Yeah.
see what that character can do with that buff. on.
Showcase's first day would be kind of meaningless then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
that's what I'm saying. Like you can't actually really tell
Yeah.
what that character can do anymore. Like if they're gonna get a stupid buff for no reason. And also, I don't really, the only thing I don't really like about it otherwise would be, you know, a lot of us have told people for a while because it's the smart thing to do still, and I don't regret it. A lot of us have told people for a while to kind of key in on a couple teams and kind of just go from there if you're trying to play with a budget. But like if they're gonna do that, then maybe that changes that landscape a little bit. That's another thing I
Right,
don't
yeah.
really necessarily love.
Yep.
So
I mean, that's
guess
really
I
their
guess
goal,
we'll just have to
right?
see it though in action.
They don't want people, especially with the introduction of this new pity system, they don't want people saving up for specific tags because then you're going to be able to take more advantage of the pity system, right? Let's say you're an LOE main. Dude, you have like 80,000 plus crystals saved up from the last LOE unit that came out. You're able to grab this Frieza with completely free to play crystals and not spend any money at all. That's not what they want.
Right.
Yeah.
Philip asks, what are your thoughts on a possible anti-revival unit like Hakai Beerus or Mafuba Roshi? Is it needed or not?
Ooh, Mafuba Roshi. Ooh, man. That'd be dope, dude. I love
I
that
think-
so much.
I mean, my personal opinion, I do think the meta is kind of moving towards like, if you don't have revival on your team, you're at a disadvantage. Like we were just talking about how LOE could really use like a tanky, either like a new endurance or a new revival unit, and just something simple like that could revitalize the entire team. So I think, you know, revival is very powerful, and I think if they continue to release revival units, I wouldn't be surprised if they came out with like some type of counter to it. I mean, we already see like something similar to that in Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta's kit. It's nothing like too busted. I think he gets Dragon Balls and some other things. It's nothing too big of a deal, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. What do you guys think?
They'll do it eventually. That's typical, you know, production here. They're gonna create a problem and then just sell us a solution. Basically, they're gonna do it. I mean, like if you think about it, once upon a time there was no character that nullified special covers. Now there's a bunch of them. And the first one was just like what, Vegito on the Ultimate.
Yep.
Or main ability, like something like that. Like it was very uncommon. Now it's becoming more and more common, right? As we still continue to get more special cover changes, eventually they're going to produce more revival units, and then there's going to be a character that eventually will just say, okay, if you get this, we're going to cancel it. And the same happened with Endurance, right? Endurance, once upon a time, was just Endurance. Now there are characters that were able to do things like Rildo. I think he was one of the first ones where if he hits you with anything, he's going to nullify your Endurance. And then it became literally every character is coming out with revival endurance, or excuse me, endurance nullification on the Ultimate as well. It's almost like a prerequisite at this point. So like it's gonna happen. It's just the question is how long, you know, from now does that happen? Because it's going
Right.
to. That's just the way that they've always done things, and it wouldn't make any sense not to.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing.
So in terms of like what character, I don't know.
Yeah, the one thing that is kind of sucky though. Imagine if you loved Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, for example, and then you just don't get it at all anymore because, as the guy Sammy who asked the question actually wrote, it's like it's an entirely different character that comes back, like Cell and Gohan. So in a way, I don't know. I hope they don't, just because I like actually having a different character to play with as well.
They will.
That's the one caveat to it, is that the character, like if you specifically key in on Cell, like he's pretty bad pre-revival.
Yeah, that's true.
So I wouldn't be surprised if, again, talking about like how I said they're going to do it, because I feel pretty confident in that. I mean, what if it's like a year and a half from now? These characters we're using nowadays that doesn't really matter. So the landscape of revival characters could change a lot in that it becomes a lot more saturated and they become better pre-revival to where that's not the entirety of the character, where the goal isn't to completely revive and it becomes more of a luxury as opposed to saying, okay, I'm going to throw them out there and forcefully revive ASAP because the character just becomes 10 times better post-revival. Like the landscape could change a good bit. But that is the one caveat is that like, well, the character would suck, you know?
Sell for sure, yeah.
They're just trash. Like, it is what it is. But again, the same can be said to a lesser degree because the character doesn't change completely, but the same can be said to the characters that rely on endurance to a degree. You take that away from them with a lot of things now. Now, again, it's not the same directly. It's not a one-to-one because they're not changing kits entirely, but it is relevant. So
You actually
we'll see
just
what
brought up
happens,
a really good point, and it made me start thinking about so Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, how I brought up how he does have that like kind of ability to not necessarily negate revival, but he does get some extra things if he triggers a revival. We could start to see more stuff like that where it's not like entirely killing off the revival unit that's done, he's dead, and we'll move on to the next character. Like maybe it's just like small little abilities and buffs that you get if you just happen to be going against a revival unit or something like that.
I think that's definitely how it'll start, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Because I agree, if they do come out with something that just like completely shuts down a revival unit, boom, they're immediately dead, then that kind of like makes that revival unit almost like I don't want to say worthless, but I think you guys know what I'm saying.
Worthless.
But you know, if
just make sure you can switch out and you'll be all right, though. Just make sure you can switch, you'll be okay.
But
yeah, easy.
Yeah, I think Gogeta is definitely how it's going to go for now. They're definitely going to take their time with it. I jumped all the way to the 100, but they're going to try to work their way and see how things work. But again, I'm mainly saying that we only have a few revivals in the game right now. So like when we have 15, 20, 25 of them, how does the landscape change there? Right.
I think we're eventually going to get to a point where there's going to be teams that have multiple revival units. Like we can already do that with Sun Family, right? You can put Purple
This is why I
Gohan
said it
and
becomes a problem.
Exactly. Yeah. No. I mean, nobody wants to fight a team with 3 revival on it, revival units on it. It's boring. It's stupid. It's long. It's drawn out. I'm not queuing up my mobile game to fight a 10-minute battle. Like that's not what I want to do. So they're gonna have to figure out a solution to this. Like either they revive with like 80% less health or something, or you get some kind of buff or some drawback to having revival units. Like that's definitely gonna happen.
Yeah,
they're gonna figure something
agree.
out.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not as extreme as just saying they're deleted, but they'll figure something out.
I mean,
and I'm pretty sure a lot of us won't be happy about it either.
Yeah, now that we get used to like Revival Gohan and Clapco. I mean, they already come back with less than 100% HP, right? They Clapco and Gohan. It's like 50 and 70, so.
But I think that was a trade-off from Cell because Cell was so squishy, for one, pre and post. So that was a trade-off, I think. And also, I think those two on average are a little better pre-transformation as well than Cell, especially Gohan. So like, I think that's probably the trade-off there. So do they start reviving with less and less HP? I don't know, but that could be something worth noting as well.
Okay, so Liu Bei asked, do you think the pity system will change like they did with the price for Zenkai? So like what we see right now in the pity system, do we think that they will eventually like make updates and changes to it for future banners, stuff like that?
Dude, I think the bigger question is, what thing in the game have they not tweaked or changed? I think that's the harder question, but it's definitely gonna get changed, bro. Honestly,
the only thing that I can think of is like daily single summons because people that works, right?
Yeah, that's true.
They never I mean, some banners they don't let you do that anymore, but like they never really changed daily single summons.
Yeah.
Someone just wrote co-op. It's also kind of true.
That's true. I mean, hey, they added the Super Rising Rush, right?
Yeah, that's true.
exactly.
It's changed too. Now you can see like the allies,
Dragon Balls,
Rising Rush.
yeah.
You can see that it's
And they also
changed.
added the
They
big
tweaked
coins,
it.
the big co-op medals to the shop.
Yeah.
So now you have to choose.
Oh, now for whatever reason you can send messages in co-op. So like they've changed it
True.
after the match anyway. So yeah, they'll definitely tweak the even if it's just like changing the rewards, right? They'll definitely change it.
And I mean, it also makes sense, right? Because that's also the thing. If you have like B2C, like business to customer products, like a game, where you'll never know exactly how it's going to be received. So you're going to go like with an 80% finished product, throw it out there, see the reaction, and tweak it. because you cannot get it perfect. And if you try to get it perfect, you know the 80-20 rule where the last 20% take like 80% of your time. You don't want to afford that, especially, when they just go to a different game.
Yeah. So I think they'll change it. We'll see.
Yeah.
Really, I think one change I'm looking for that is not so much the cost or things like that, because I really do like the flexibility of it, if I'm being honest, that you can still choose to get the tickets if you want. I mean, some people would argue, and they wouldn't be wrong really, that you should be able to get the coins and the tickets. But I mean, that's, if you know anything about how they do business, they weren't going to do that. They're going to make you choose one or the other. So you can still choose to have it be the same way as it's been for a while. Not really always, because the tickets have changed a lot, but the way it's been for a while. But one thing I'm looking for is, if they decide, and they probably won't, to make it more like Dokkan, where you can just stack the coins, that would be an incredible change. That would be nothing but positive, and people would love. It would change the entire economy of the game, really. And again, they're not going to do it. Odds are very slim, but if they do, that'd be great.
They lose money, bro. Anything that makes them lose money, they're not gonna do, bro. Trust me.
If they did that, they would have to increase the cost of everything in the shop.
Yeah, well, the thing is, you can be successful with that, as proven by the other Dragon Ball game. So it just kind of depends.
Yeah. But I think because this game is less successful financially, they probably have different metrics, right, that they have to meet.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's also their fault, because even down to the fact that their
100%
CC is a
their
lot
fault.
less expensive than Stones are too, right?
Yeah, I definitely agree that this is a problem that they created.
Yeah, that's like also their fault.
Yep. I agree.
So, I don't know. I guess it goes both ways. But still, that would be a huge change. They're not going to do it anyway.
Do you think they'll release another character with the same green card as so basically that same green movie's Goku that we were just talking about earlier in the podcast? Do you think that they'll ever have a similar character with that kind of blocking green card?
Yeah. UI Goku.
Mastered, yeah.
On that same topic, I've been waiting for them to, and they'll probably save it for like a really big day, but I'm pretty sure they're going to repurpose that UI Goku's gauge, and not just for UI Goku specifically, but like not even for like auto dodges. They'll find creative ways to use that gauge once again. So like they'll always repurpose things that are introduced, or like that character is still the only one that has a block, quote unquote. They'll figure it out and they'll put it on another character.
Yeah, I mean, they also...
And what's really crazy, doesn't he get his Vanish back too? When, like, if you already use your Vanish and you pop that green card and you successfully block something, doesn't he get his Vanish back too?
Yeah, and that got a lot more flexible with the introduction of tackles too, especially when people were tackling like it was a brand new thing. They were tackling like nonstop. It got really good.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the Vanish Restore is what makes this green card so good, because otherwise you also have like the barrier from like, Bergamo, for example, or Buhan. That you can use, so you can at least stall, but getting your Vanish back on a strike or a blast is pretty powerful.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't Goresh make a video where you called him UI Goku or something, and then you just use green cards all the time?
Yeah, he was the original
yeah,
UI.
Exactly.
I mean, that pretty much was UI Goku, right?
Yeah, now that I think about it, that would be a pretty scary Zenkai. But
yeah, that's why I was like, nah, I don't want to see that dude get that guy. Screw him. And then his ult will just one shot anything. Watch. It's just gonna one-shot
put him on the
anything.
list.
Dude, that ultimate is still LF worthy.
Yeah, it still looks beautiful, yeah.
But Winchester's asked thoughts on adding LF Z power for the extreme co-op coins, 100 coins per 600 Z power over 30 days of doing co-op. I think it'd be cool. I mean, I would be all for something like that, but I probably don't. I mean, I'm not expecting anything like that. I don't think that they would do that, but I'd be all for it.
I think they're gonna find more ways on how to normalize LFZ power, because I feel like what they're doing now is releasing so many LFs and giving us so many ways to get LF Z power, to where it's gonna be so normalized that when ultra summonable LFs come out and shit, then we're gonna be like, oh yeah, this is so great, amazing, or nonsense. So I feel like they're gonna find some way on how to like spread out the LFZ power that we can gain and stuff per month. So it'll be interesting to see.
The entire
it's also
pity
pretty
system.
typical business there too, to alleviate some of the burden on something right before and make it more available right before you drop something better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just to say, like, the whole pity system might just be put in place just to get ready for like summonable ultras, right?
Yeah, that and make LFs a lot more accessible to a degree at higher stars for people. which people are going to be happy about. But it's really just, I think this is all just a precursor to potentially finally getting our first Ultra in the next couple of months or so, whatever the next big celebration is.
Which I gotta say, I'm extremely nervous about that. I just really hope they handle it correctly. I mean, because if they something like this, if they handle it incorrectly, it could mess up a lot of. I mean, it could mess up the entire game. To be frank, but it really just depends how they handle it.
Yeah, I think with me on that topic, I'll wait and see. Not the first time, but maybe the second or third time, because like we just talked about, they change things so much that they might get it right. To a degree, anyway. I don't think the community will ever agree on what "quote unquote" getting it right is, but I think they'll figure it out to a degree pretty well for the second or third one.
You have to understand also, there will be complaints about literally everything that happens in this game.
Yeah, that's why I said the community will never agree on these things.
Dude, there's always the person that will complain and say, "Oh, like I literally got a comment on a video the other day." Where, I mean, you could have your opinion on the pity system, like whether or not you like it or not. That's fine. You could disagree, agree, whatever you want to do. Somebody literally commented and said this would be way better if everything in the shop was cheaper. It's like, okay, well, I mean, you could say that about like anything in the game, like
crystals.
Unless it's free, people will complain, and even if it is free, people will still find a way.
It could
to
be more,
complain. I mean,
right?
that's just
Could
the
be
way
more.
it works. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Like with the
on that topic,
Electric
I had some people
Goku
telling me
Z
that
power.
it's a bad system, and I just didn't understand it. I was like, how can you tell me this is worse than what we had before? Like, you may not like it, but it's way better than what we had before. Like, it doesn't make any sense. What we had before was literally only Legends tickets. This is just way better.
Well, we got the GSP.
I cannot compute that. Yeah, well, you still can choose to get the ticket.
But I mean, I think now they're like, you have to choose between the GSP and the Legends tickets in a way.
Yeah, that I said that like a few minutes ago. Like that, I can understand people not wanting to do, but somebody commented every answer is business. Yeah, because it is. Like, you guys have to understand this is a multi-million-dollar game. It's not just something you're playing casually. Like, this is a business at the end of the day.
Are you guys really surprised that like they're catering to paying players? If you go to a concert and you pay more money, guess what? You get a better seat.
Really? I never knew that. I never went to concerts with seats.
Hey, and I'm gonna be completely honest, dude. Those tickets, how many of us were complaining about those tickets over the last like 5-6 months? They just got to a point where they just felt so bad. I'm not even gonna, they just felt so bad, dude.
Honestly,
they used to be really good.
Some,
they just felt
some
just
of
like
us
a
had
chore
problems
to
with
me
the
now.
tickets because they maxed out. Just like what can I buy with them, right? Like up to the last update, some
Just
of them was
the
like,
amount.
okay, what am I gonna spend them for?
Oh no, not those tickets. Those ones actually, I'm happy that they updated that shop. But I mean the sparking
GSP?
tickets on the step ups.
You get like 0.5%.
I just was like, dude, they just feel bad now. They just feel bad. Personally,
I
to
think
me.
what happened was like they've been experimenting with those tickets for like almost a year now, and at this point they're just like, well, here you can choose what to do with them.
Yeah. They
Because is
just
it
gave
just
up on
me, or
those.
did those tickets used to feel like better than they do now? If that makes sense, I don't know. It could
Yeah.
just
Well,
be
they
like
did. The rates
my
were higher,
mind playing
right?
tricks on me, but I don't know.
Goresh, weren't the rates higher in those tickets before?
They were, and that's number one. Number two was that we're getting a lot more banners where there's less new units, right? We're getting like LF plus 1 sparking, LF plus 0 sparkings.
extreme.
It used to be LF plus 2 sparkings, or even sometimes LF plus 3 sparkings, where the new sparkings would always have higher rates on the tickets, so the tickets felt way better. But now, you know, with only the new LF being the newest unit on the banner, and that's it, like the odds of you pulling that LF on the ticket is like next to nothing almost. So it's 5%. You know, you're going to pull 1 in 20 tickets on average, pretty much. So
Yeah. On the topic of the tickets that Palm was talking about, Mystic Gohan in the chat said people are forgetting that you get 100 Legends tickets per rotation, which is insane. I don't really, I honestly, I didn't look into it that deep. But
I mean, but
I'm
you have
guessing
to-
that's
you have
via
to
the exchange
trade.
or whatever.
You have to trade the GSPs that you get for those tickets, though. You can't
is
just
that what
get
it is?
both. Yeah, so you have to choose one. You can't just get
yeah.
both.
But they at least updated the shop. They added what, UI and LF Vegito in there,
Yeah.
and another one, right?
Was it Majin Vegeta the other one, or who was the other one?
Yeah, I
It
think
might
so.
have been Majin Vegeta.
yeah, Vegeta Blue, Majin Vegeta, and UI Goku.
Yeah,
Ah, okay.
The one thing
and I
they need to
was
do
really
with that
glad
shop,
to see that.
they took away the like the regular sparking section of that shop. What they should do is they should just put like every sparking in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just put like
Yeah,
every
that would be a
sparking in
good
there
idea.
for like 600 tickets, like 600 Z power. That's it. Boom, and instantly like way
Yeah,
better.
and update it constantly. That would
Yep.
be a good idea. Because that was a waste of those tickets too. Like no one's gonna use those hard-earned tickets that they're
Tapion.
probably trying to save for an LF on these other sparkings.
You didn't get Tapion? Bruh.
Wasn't like BoJack and Yellow Gohan like the last ones they actually even
Yeah,
added to that
but
shop?
I mean, are you playing
Yeah,
it?
it was red tape was in there.
Best unit in the game.
Dude, I'm still so mad at myself. I actually spent like 400. It was back when it was like a couple months after I first started, and that Yellow Movie's Gohan and the BoJack were just dominating the meta.
Oh, you got tempted.
And I
That's
spent,
what it was.
I put 400 tickets into that Yellow Gohan, and I immediately, like, it was like a week or two later I pulled him, and I immediately regretted it.
Yeah. So like the thing is, you can get those tickets now, but you're probably still even then better off just getting multi Z powers, the cheaper ones. In my opinion, anyway, depending what you have.
Yeah, especially if you can
Yeah.
save for Legends Limited. And you just summon on those limit break banners, and you get a ton of Z power. Or, even just sometimes getting those missions from the All-Star banner, I still keep some 100 purple Z powers lying around because I use other Z powers with more restrictions on the characters. So you just also got to be smart about which Z power you apply to which character. Because you could always try to apply the least the most restrictive one, like 5-star plus or something, and then you keep the 100s that have no star requirements for the lower ones.
Yeah. Well, on that topic, George says, how do you think the coin system will age then if the developers continue to update the shop, especially since you get 4 times the amount of Legends tickets as beforehand from 30 to 120 per rotation? I
think it'll. It's really hard to say how it'll age because I assume it's going to change, right? It's not going to just remain the same the whole time.
Yeah.
But I think if it does stay the same that it is now, for like as a hypothetical situation, actually, I think it's fine. The only issue I had, which I mentioned earlier, was how you can't directly exchange your coins for Legends tickets straight in the shop. Like you have to wait for the banner to expire. Like why? Why is that? Why is that a feature?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I said earlier, it's probably just so you don't waste those coins.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least give us the option to get them during the banner. Like, why do I
do
have to
it
wait?
now.
Dude, these banners are up for so long. Yeah, I'm going to wait a month and a half
Well,
before I can actually get my.
I mean,
Legends
yes, you
ticket.
are, because do you have a choice? It's like,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
dumb that exists.
I get that.
I'm assuming they do it on purpose because let's say you're at like 900 Legends tickets and you're like, oh, I'm so close to 1,000, and you just want to like do a couple multis and exchange them for Legends tickets. They want you to like, I guess, not be able to do that right away, and then they realize, I guess, you'll probably just keep summoning to get more coins. I guess, who knows?
That probably is what it is.
Yeah.
That really probably is what it is.
I mean, it's definitely because they want you to get to the break points, right? I mean,
Right.
every item in the shop costs a certain amount, right? And if you're like 5 tickets short of the item you want, instead of just saying, "Oh, well, I'll just get Legends tickets or whatever," like they make you spend to get that. That's why it's
Yeah.
that way. But it's dumb that it's that way. That's what I'm
No,
saying.
I agree. 100%
So
agree.
the answer again is business.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It is.
Okay, so I think the next like 5 episodes of Podcasters is done. How do you like the unit? Business. This is what it is. All right, but hey, that's it for this week's podcast. Thank you so much for your support. And as always, don't forget Twitch Prime is not a crime. And this podcast will go live on YouTube in about 24 hours from now. So make sure to check that out. Subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. Follow us on Twitter for all updates. And thanks to all our creators. Make sure to check them out. DFree, up and coming guy. Goresh, also kind of growing. ZVG and Swift are also active on YouTube. ZVG also on Twitch, right?
Twitch, yes sir. ZV streamer. Let's go.
So that's pretty much it. We'll be back next week with episode 43. Hopefully we'll get the Appule Force by then, because I cannot contain my hype. And with that said, we're gonna.
Hey man, that was I don't know. I think it was EVG who said it was the worst, man. I don't know. That was the best video ever.
Nah, it was worse.
Did you see that bait and switch?
That character is finally playable, man.
They really gave him a trailer with the hype music in the background.
Oh, and Azteek made a good point. Next episode's going to be called Business.
Yep.
All
there
right.
it
With that
is.
said, have a good rest of your day and take care, guys. See you next week. Bye, everybody.
Peace.
Peace.
Yes, sir. Peace out, guys.